Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Where'd you get that mistletoe? It's July!
And we're giving away a bunch of gifts to you, the audience.
As a sign of our appreciation and need for constant validation.
So head on over to our Patreon page.
Because every Monday in July, we're going to be posting exclusive content.
For free!
What are we giving away this week, Mariya?
This week, we're doing a commentary track for the original Lion King.
If you want to hear our opinions on the original version, and why it may have been a mess behind the scenes, head on over to the Patreon.
We'll see you over at patreon.com/chaoticsilly.
So go check it out right now!
For free!
I'm gonna take this Santa suit off now, Mariya. It's so freaking hot.
Why are you wearing a Santa suit for an audio-only podcast?
I commit, damn it. Now help me get the beard off.
Merry Christmas in July.
Boy, that Lion King was such a bad movie, wasn't it, Mariya? The new one, I mean. We totally saw it. We're totally not recording this, months before it actually, or a month before it actually comes out. It was so bad. Remember that part where it was bad?
Yep. That part where they did that thing where it was just terrible.
Yep. Really bad. You misspelled Pumbaa in our thing.
Well, you don't have to point it out.
Too bad, I did.
What's wrong with the spelling?
It's 2 A's.
Are you shitting me right now?
I'm not. It's actually 2 A's.
I mean, yes, but you pointed that out for an A at the end.
Yep. Ain't I a stinker?
No. That was a bad joke, James.
Oh, God. So in honor of the new Lion King movie that's coming out, it has come out at the time of this airing, we watched a really old Lion King property. The Timon and Pumbaa show.
It was great.
It was a thing. Yeah.
I watched it as a child.
I also watched it as a child.
For once. Our childhood's aligned, James.
For once. This is a thing that occurred. Disney has always been cash grabbing their properties as much as possible. So, the live action movies are nothing new. You had TV shows, for better or worse. The sequel movies that I'm sure we're going to have to watch some of. Just all sorts of using their products until they turn to dust. Except the Rescuers. Why doesn't the Rescuers get any love from Disney?
I haven't seen The Rescuers. I don't know what this is.
Really?
Yes.
It's one of their weirder movies. It doesn't look anything like a Disney movie.
I see.
You might recognize it if I showed you.
Maybe,
but it's a thing. Anyway, that's not the point. Point is, we watched Season 1, Episode 14, Brazil Nuts, and Seaside Sickness.
Yep.
Original release date, September 16th, 1995. Seaside Sickness, we had director Tony Craig and Robert Ganaway. Written by Bobby J. Weiss and David Weiss. Maybe relation? Who knows? Storyboarded by Cynthia Petrovic. And Brazil Nuts was directed by Jeff DeGrandis, written by Kevin Campbell, and storyboarded by Denise Koyama. Yeah, Mariya, give us the summary.
Yes, the summary. the first one, Brazil nuts?
Mm-hmm.
Brazil nuts was the first one, right?
Yeah, you just put them in the wrong order.
Anyway, Brazil nuts. In that one, Timon and Pumbaa are like in. They start off. They're in the water, and Timon is trying to catch some bugs. But Pumbaa like jumps out of the water, and there's a bunch of bubbling around them. And Timon asks what the bubbling's about, and Pumbaa says, "Oh, it's just piranhas." So they run out of the water, and they're hungry because they can't find any bugs, or because everyone keeps stealing all the bugs. And suddenly they find this very decked out buffet of bugs with like large neon signs pointing, and a sign that says "not a trap" too. I wonder. Anyway, so Timon goes crazy on the bugs, and Pumbaa is like, "This doesn't feel right," and they come and they run into a snake who Timon then thinks the snake's the waiter, and tells him to get some ants. So the snake goes away, and we kind of like follow the snake and find out that there's another snake, and this is just an entire like trap planned out by both the snakes so they can catch Timon and Pumbaa and eat them. And so afterwards, the other snake comes back, and Timon has eaten all the bugs. And Pumbaa keeps trying to tell Timon that the snakes want to eat them, and Timon doesn't listen. And the snake takes Timon to the first class buffet, because he was in the common people's buffet, and Timon goes with him essentially. And then the next scene, they're like Timon and Pumbaa are in like a net hanging above a cauldron that is hot and boiling, and eventually Timon realizes that, oh, we're gonna be eaten, and Timon and Pumbaa sort of break out of the net and trick the snakes into going into the pond, and they get eaten by the piranhas. The second one, Seaside Sickness. Basically, Timon and Pumbaa have like eaten a lot of food, and Pumbaa starts feeling very sick, and Timon's like, "Oh, I'm your best friend. I'm gonna take care of you," and goes through these series of checkups, I guess, of Pumbaa. But he's not a trained doctor, and then Timon decides to go get some ingredients for a homemade remedy that his grandma makes. And when Timon is gone to get the ingredients, Pumbaa just burps and feels better, and Timon comes back and sees that Pumbaa looks much better, but he gets really, really sad because he feels like he didn't cure him, and he's like, "You're gonna eat my grandma's miracle medicine, right? Because otherwise I would be really, really sad if I didn't cure you." And so Timon eats it because he gets emotionally blackmailed, and it starts burping green bubbles. That's it.
Plus, we had a little music video at the end.
Yeah.
Which is a rendition by Timon and Pumbaa of "The Lion Sleeps Tonight."
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was really fun.
I like that song. That's one of my favorite songs from The Lion King, from the old movie.
That's not in the old movie.
It is. Is it not?
No.
What?
That's not in The Lion King, Mariya.
But...
Oh, wait. No. Nope.
Then what is it in? What has my brain associated this to?
I don't know. I mean, it has lions in it. Maybe. Here, let me look it up really quick. Okay, I was wrong, Mariya.
Okay.
but it's briefly in the movie.
Right.
When Timon and Pumbaa are first introduced, they're singing it.
Okay.
Which apparently caused a lawsuit, so yeah.
Oh, I can see that. I can see why that happened.
Yep. Alright, so, what did we think?
I remembered it to be a lot more funny than it actually ended up being. Like, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of clever jokes and puns that I understand now that I didn't understand as a child.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the goofy shenanigans that cartoons are attributed with were not funny to me now.
Mm. Yeah, agreed. It's very low-brow, toilety humor.
Right.
Not to a great extent, but just, yeah, that's the main hook of the humor.
Like, there's a lot of puns.
Yeah, there's some puns in there.
I
did laugh at the toucan joke.
6-pack of toucans, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that was funny.
Funny, yeah.
I like Seaside Sickness more than Brazil Nuts.
Huh. I like Brazil Nuts better.
Okay. I just like the slapstick of Seaside Sickness.
Right.
And it's a lot more focused and simple.
Also, how it talks about what we should use home remedies rather than professional trained doctors' advice. Yeah.
Oh, I love the joke on Timon's book of home remedies that says miracle cures. It's a miracle if this cures you. Or if this cures you, it's a miracle.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny.
That was pretty funny. I laughed at that. I enjoyed that.
Plus, the stool joke also got me.
Took you a minute, didn't it?
Oh, I was really at the very end when Timon's got he's got like a bug sprayer full of his granny's miracle cure.
Yeah.
And Pumbaa opens his mouth, and I really expected Timon to say wrong end right there, and just like Pumbaa to just start running or something.
Lol.
I don't know if they could get that through the censors though.
That is true, yeah.
But yeah, I thought Seaside Sickness was just tighter and it had more jokes to it that were hits than Brazil Nuts. But, I'm not saying you're wrong or anything.
Yeah, no.
We just had a different opinion.
And it's a lot easier to entertain me than it is to entertain James. So.
Yeah, Brazil Nuts also did have Rob Paulson as one of the voices of the snakes. So that was pretty delightful. He plays Yakko on Animaniacs.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mariya.
What do you think of the animation, James?
The animation, limited budget, lots of, pretty simple frames, separate from the background.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look great, but, it has an energy, a slapstick to it.
Right.
It's like even for Disney, it's pretty average.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, it was decent, right? It's not.
Yeah.
It's
a cheap show.
Yeah.
They're not gonna spend a bunch of money on it. So.
Yeah, there weren't any stupid mistakes. There wasn't.
Yeah.
It didn't seem clunky or
right
rickety in any sense, so that's good.
Yeah, it's cheap but not lazy.
Yeah. And the colors were kind of like what you would expect them to be. Yeah, like the paint doesn't again, it's cell animation, so it looks like cell animation. The paints aren't too bright, and they're not dull. They're just, yeah. I did like how, usually you expect Pumbaa to be the dumb one. But he literally makes the most sense all the time.
Yep. Yeah. Timon's joke of just saying the right thing after Pumbaa says it got pretty old.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Which I mean,
and this is one episode.
Yeah, which I mean, like after watching so many, so long ago, and then watching them now, watching one of it now, like I can see why it was appealing at first, but I can also see how it could get boring real quick.
Right.
But it's interesting. Because you think that Timon would be the one who's more dependent on Pumbaa is the one who's more dependent on Timon, but it's obvious that Timon needs Pumbaa more.
Agreed.
Like he wouldn't survive.
He'd literally be dead.
Yeah, no, he'd be dead. But Timon's got a good set of vocal cords on him, like. Oh boy.
Well, that can bring us into the other thing that happened during the episode.
What?
Because it was very obvious that they replaced Timon's original voice actor, Nathan Lane, with somebody else in between these two episodes.
I didn't notice it. I didn't at all.
Really? They sounded like so different.
I mean, I guess now that you've pointed it out, if I watch it again, I would probably pick it up, but no,
Yeah, you would.
I was not, no.
During my cursory research, they replaced Timon's voice actor twice.
Oh, jeez.
During production, so.
Fun.
Fun.
That must be so fun. Like, will somebody notice? Nobody'll notice. Years later. James Ristig.
Somebody noticed.
Yes, exactly.
Oh God. What else is there to say?
Again,
about
there's
this?
not much to say because it wasn't bad. It wasn't great.
No. It's a C-tier Disney TV production made for kids, low common denominator, decent budget.
Right.
So it looks decent. Not great, but we've seen worse.
Right.
So out of the same sort of target demographic.
Yeah.
So it's at least keeping up with the Disney sort of prestige.
Right.
But the writing and the jokes were pretty flat.
I mean, again, they were made for kids. So I suppose us as adult audiences would not be particularly inspired by the jokes. They had a few here and there.
Yeah. Like I didn't hate the watching
it wasn't bad.
Like,
it was just they didn't do anything bad and they didn't do anything great. So there's not much to say about it, I guess.
Right.
I mean, there's also the
have
you seen that the movie, the Timon the Lion King?
Oh, the
one
and a half. Yes, I have. Dig a tunnel, dig a tunnel.
Oh, it's been so long since I've seen that one.
Dig a tunnel. That's all I remember the movie, by the way.
Just the digging the tunnel, yeah.
I remember them being there during the Be Prepared scene.
Right.
That was weird.
It's very funny though, because it's very different than most of how sequels or prequels work. Like,
this is more of a midquel.
Yeah, it's very weird, and I think it was one of the better sequels, personally. I don't remember it so much, but I remember how it made me feel.
Do you know what it's based on, Mariya?
Who?
The Timon 1.5 movie. Well, you know that the Lion King is Macbeth,
Yes.
right? Okay, well, Timon and Pumbaa 1.5, whatever the hell it's called, is based on Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead. It's a play where they took these two characters that were in Macbeth, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, who are just these two guards. And the whole play is from their perspective.
Oh, that's interesting.
And they're just saying, like, my God, this Macbeth guy is such an asshole. And just, like, riffing on the original Macbeth.
Right. That's a very smart satire. That's a very smart way to do a satire. Like, I dig that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a smart play.
Yeah.
And anyway, that's what 1.5 is, like, riffing on.
No, I didn't know that.
Timon and Pumbaa are Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, and they're just there during every important scene for some reason.
Well, you learn something new every day, James.
Yep. What else? I've exhausted all of my knowledge.
How do you rate it, James?
I mean, like, the animation is, above average for TV quality.
Right.
At the time. Keep in mind, this is the same time frame as Gargoyles. Right. And, we love Gargoyles.
Yes, Gargoyles was a lot of fun. It had some weird animation stuff, but it was still good.
Did it?
Well, like
Are you thinking of the right
Yeah, Gargoyles.
show?
The one. There aren't that many Gargoyles, James.
What weird animation stuff were we talking about? Oh, right.
Like
Right.
Yeah.
The rain. I totally forgot about the rain.
The rain was so weird.
Yeah, okay, you're right. I forgot
they
about
had
that.
the little
Yeah, the rocks falling.
here and there. But
yeah, but that's just animation.
Oh yeah, no,
works.
definitely. But yeah, for its time, it was pretty decent animation. Like, nothing.
Compared to the low tier stuff coming out of like Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network at the time, yeah, it's pretty good.
What was coming out on Cartoon Network?
Not much. I think was Cartoon Network even around? Yeah, it was around at this time, I think. Barely. It was mostly just replays of Hanna-Barbera
yes.
stuff. I don't know if any of the cartoons came out at this time. The Johnny Bravo, Dexter wouldn't be around. I don't think Johnny was around either. I think it was mostly just a repository for Hanna-Barbera.
Oh, okay.
Stuff.
Yeah, I remember it to be a lot more like that, like with Scooby-Doo and stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't even know if it existed at this time. No, it did.
So what do you rate it, James?
1.5.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it like 2 fingers because I still mildly enjoyed it. It's definitely a lot more funny as a child than it is from today.
Yeah.
And because they used to play Timon and Pumbaa a lot back in India when I was in India. And like on Nickelodeon, there'd just be like hours and hours of it. And after a while, me and my brother would be really tired of watching Timon and Pumbaa, so we'll watch something else. But it was essentially, yeah.
How did Indian Nickelodeon get a Disney show?
I don't know. It was very weird.
That's some weird copyright bullshit going on right there.
It was on Disney. It's probably on Disney.
I mean, it's the Lion King.
Yeah, it was probably on Disney. Maybe I'm just, like, my brain is confusing memories because they're old now. But
they only happened like what, a year ago?
I am not a 12-year-old.
In spirit, you are.
Yes, in spirit, always. Always.
Oh god, what do you rate it? Oh yeah, you did. You gave it a 2.
I gave it a 2.
I think that's it.
What are we watching next week?
Oh, we are watching The Simpsons.
Ooh.
Yes.
We're watching The Simpsons. James has been showing me clips of Simpsons for the past.
I bombarded you with a bunch of clips of The Simpsons.
Yeah. Homer deserves everything that he gets. Anyway, if you would like to support us some more, you could leave us a like or a comment if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, you can leave us a review. Or if you're listening to us or have downloaded our podcast from the website, which is chaoticsilly.squarespace.com. You can download our podcast and you can leave a like or comment under there. You can also follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr. The handle is Chaotic Silly, no space. And if you feel particularly generous, you could give us $1 for a month, every month, and you get our movie podcast where we talk about animated movies called Movie Night in Hell. We do...
Except this month.
Except for July, which is Christmas in July, which means everything that we have on our Patreon is free. Yay!
Woo.
And yeah, this for the month of July, we're watching Shrek. We're gonna talk about it.
God help us all.
We're gonna talk about Shrek, and we're gonna watch Shrek, and then we're gonna talk about it. So join us there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, see you guys next week.
You're getting good at that, Mariya.
Yes, because I remembered.
That's true.
Okay, bye.
Bye.